All right, so try to follow this. Originally, I'm at Mike's place. He's got this cool chainsaw, but it doesn't run. Clean the carb out, doesn't stay running. There's no compression. And then I'm like, what's going on here? And then I put a new cylinder head on that saw, fire it off. 4 or 5 pops later, the thing's jammed up, and it suffers catastrophic failure. Here's the piston from that, right? I think I've shown this before. Well, it's all scarred up and ugly, and so is the cylinder heads. So doggone it, I said, well, I'll get another one. So I got another cylinder head, which is like unobtainium, is that what they say? Very hard to find that particular replacement part, but some guy had it on eBay and I grabbed it. Okay, fantastic. I reassemble, pop the saw off, it starts jamming. So something's not right. I pulled it apart. Well, what was worn on his saw, which he used for logging, was the crank. The bearings on the main crank worn off. So I said, shoot the duck. I don't know if I'm qualified to split a crankcase and get it back together again. So I started shopping on Marketplace, blah, blah, blah. Got a Practica 65 saw. Whoever sold me the first one I bought, I'm not sure which of these two it is, the thing was in the mail. No. It never hit the mail for over a month. And I had given up waiting on it. I thought I got scammed at least once. And so I'm like, well, forget this. I'll get another saw and I'll use that and I'll swap out the heads to get his saw back to him and running again. All right, so then I think I may have seen another one pop up a few weeks later and I grabbed it. So now 1, 2, 3 chainsaws. And then I'm trying to fix one. I believe I will have enough parts to get 2 chainsaws out of the deal as L77s. The Practica 65 model and the L77 model use the same crankcase. They just have a different piston and a different cylinder head. Well, I acquired another cylinder head and I have a used cylinder head. So my math tells me I'll be able to, given there's compression, make an additional saw I wasn't planning on having out of all this. And the one that runs right first, I'm gonna give back to the dude I was supposed to fix the thing to begin with for. You follow me? So when I unpacked all our stuff, we moved to this new location. I didn't even remember I had this extra power head. It was all set up and running as a Practica 65, which is already a classic chainsaw model. People collect those in their own right. And to find any parts, you about have to just do stuff like this. Not quite to this scale, but yeah. One guy was selling covers. I'm like, oh, covers. Well, his is correct. So I got a new set of covers and a bucket of parts out of that. I got the other Practica 65 chainsaw. 2 good carburetors, at least. You know, his carburetor, and I rebuilt his carburetor, so I should put that on. And then the one that came with the Practica 65 perfectly running. Anyway, my ambitions are these. I'll have 2 L77 chainsaws by the time I'm done. And today, after a lot of work, I was able to get the actual flywheel, you know, magneto dealy bobber off the chainsaw. Because at first you get these aluminum fins. There's the magnesium fins. And beneath that you have this setting on a post with nothing to grab under it. There's a lip here, which there's not like a pulling space. So you have to use these 4 fine threaded 7mm machine screws to pull the flywheel off there. And that was involving a bunch of rigging. So I used these really long, they're on the floor here, these really long screws. And before I could do that, that's right, there was a stripped out broken screw head in one of these guys. So I had to very carefully take a small drill bit, drill that out, and get that out. And I successfully removed that. And then it was a real pain to get this flywheel off. Well, they're always tough in their old chainsaws. So I just had that happen. Basically what this now means is I have to take this ignition system and move it over to this chainsaw next to it, and then reassemble, make sure it's timed, and I should have 2 working chainsaws, one that needs a new crank. All right.